Well, we're still looking at another issue here now. Of course, earlier on we talked about people, or rather we talked about safety protocols to COVID-19, and we know how well we have suffered with the issue of COVID-19 and how the federal government is trying to tackle the spread of it, telling people to avoid large gatherings, of course, closing down of lots of institutions just to curb the spread. Well, the federal government, in the person of the Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, said the first set of 3,115 beneficiaries have already received 5,000 each cash transfer, and he said no fewer than 1 million Nigerians are to benefit from the federal government's COVID-19 cash transfer project, which aims to lift the urban poor affected by the pandemic out of poverty. The Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, said this on Tuesday in Abuja while inaugurating the COVID-19 Rapid Response Registration Cash Transfer Project. And I know earlier on the federal government also released about 10 billion for production of local COVID-19 vaccines. I know when it comes to money now, Nigerians at this point in time are not smiling. But with this issue now, the federal government saying 1 million Nigerians are to benefit from it, most people see it as a welcome development, but others are still looking at the transparency. We would recall that earlier on the first wave, that was earlier on last year, we talked about, okay, this palliatives, how was it being dispersed? Now the Vice President is saying 1 million people are supposed to get a cash transfer project scheme. What's your view on this, Emeka?
Well, it's okay. Well, in times of crisis, of course, you expect governments to weigh in and provide support to the people. But my worry is about the preponderance of informal arrangements in the economy. It's not building the economy. We need to strengthen the formal economy. Yeah. You remember, some days ago, the president asked the private sector to provide more jobs to Nigerians. We need to build the private sector. We need more factories. We need more industries. We need to expand the service sector. Yeah. We need to wean ourselves away from this dependence on oil. We need to also build the soft economy. Areas like entertainment, ICT, we need to build those areas. Yeah. We must help. We must also pour. I know government has tried, has done a lot. Yeah. But you see, government should not just focus on the poor, giving money to the poor, You should also take a look at the Chinese model, lifting people, that is transforming people into sustainable livelihoods. It's not just about helping the poor. Because like the president said, we lift people out of poverty. Into where? You should not just lift them out of poverty. You should rather channel them into sustainable livelihoods, whereby by themselves, with their talents, with their skills, you upskill them. When they don't have the skills, you improve their skills. You make education accessible to them, as many opportunities as possible. Then, by themselves, they can build sustainable livelihoods. But if you just keep on intervening, it will build a sense of entitlement. After all, now we get the money. We are the ones that have the money. So that's nothing is done. The incentive the incentive for people to express their innate ability, their innate skills will be seriously reduced. So I think government should look at that, so that it doesn't just become like a regular bazaar. Okay, government is going to give money, government is going to give money. Let government also upskill those people, give them skills, encourage them, take people away from the street. China did it, 800 million people. I mean, that's more than the population of Nigeria. China did it. So how did they do it? Just one more point, such that the poorest man in Nigeria is not poor because he can't afford at least 2 square meals, but because maybe reason of location, maybe certain things, you can now talk of classification, and then you can now fight poverty in a different way, building sustainable livelihoods.
Okay, while we're still looking at upscaling the skills of people in the country, a lot of people are hoping that at least they actually get part of this transfer. Of course, we know the issues that we had with the COVID-19 palliatives earlier on. Well, still within last week, we know of the U.S. elections. Yes, I think the whole world has had its eyes on the U.S. elections. And on 20th of January, President Joe Biden became the 46th president of the United States of America. Of course, with his vice president being the first female of native breed, of black breed, becoming the vice president, the 46th vice president of the United States of America, of which her name is Kamala Harris, and the whole world was watching. It was really a spectacular event that day. And of course, just within his first days of office, a lot of people were expecting lots of President Joe Biden, and once he got into office, he was already clamping down on some of the former President Donald Trump's COVID-19 rules. And of course, one thing that struck Nigerians as it affects us is the issue of the travel ban for Nigerians. And lots of people are still hoping or praying for better days with this Biden. Yes, you revised, yeah? So what more did you expect from Joe Biden's inauguration?
First of all, I will quickly relate one of their ways with Nigeria. You see, there's something they would say, whether Donald Trump or Biden, they will tell you American first, American first, American first. Yeah. I expect that.
I think he's saying nice for everybody here. I think that's his slogan.
But
America
first. Every nation.
First of all, Nigeria need to begin to look at the way Americans see themselves and their country. American first. Nigeria should, Nigeria first. Our leaders should have it in their consciousness. It should be Nigeria first, and expect according to what I expect. I expect more. Yes, I'm happy that the president, Joe Biden, has, bring out and release the ban on travel, for Nigerians. Mm-hmm. It's a welcome development. Other things I expect is in a foreign relationship in terms of agriculture. Nigeria has arable land. US had a lot of mechanized, agricultural mechanical produce that can be used back in Nigeria. So I expect Biden to look at the statistics of unemployment in Nigeria and see how they can partner with the US, with Nigeria, on agriculture. It's very key. And I'll line it down to what my colleague had just said initially about the employment level. The president just gave 774,000 people. Yeah. All those things, to be giving them 20,000.
Just for 3 months.
I have said this continuously, and I will say that we have arable land lying fallow everywhere. The president should look at that and use that money to tie people with their potentials on farming. We can produce what we eat in this country sustainably and even export to other countries. So the president should look inward and see how the Ministry of Agriculture and the youth, and those money can be harmonized together, coupled with other states who has, arable land that can bring all these people together who has interest in agricultural development to, divert that money into that level, give them land and let them begin to produce so that we can have a larger export. So the president can, at least the US president can help us look at that and see how, the aspect of the mechanized aspect can be harmonized with.
All right, Emeka, let's hear from you. What do you expect again from Joe Biden's administration?
We're expecting that, of course, the Tucano jets will come in very soon. We're also expecting that the U.S. will engage with Nigeria in issue, in security and trade. They need to help the Nigerian economy. We need to get more things out. We need to boost our export sector. Then again, in terms of technology, Nigeria imports 98% of her wheat consumption. So if the United States can help us in terms of technology transfer, that we can build. Jigawa State has the potential, to produce wheat. Of course, Jonathan tried with cassava flour. So if we can build all these things together, and then Joe Biden should also help us put a stop to the movement of Nigerian money to the United States or outside this country. Money laundering needs to be dealt with, tackled seriously.
Well, a lot of expectations now for the 46th U.S. President Joe Biden, of course, and his Vice President Kamala Harris, who has brought lots of hope to lots of women, young women out there. We do hope for the best in his administration, and of course, we pray for the best in Nigeria. This is where we'll draw the curtains on today's edition of Editors Forum. Thank you very much, Emeka Madunagu, Olusegun Ariyo, and of course, my beloved audience, thank you for always being a part of Editors Forum. And to all those who made today's show a success, I say a very big thank you. So do join us same time, same station next week, God's willing, for another edition of Editors Forum. I am Rita Omodia. God bless Nigeria.